important corporate conversation is what we have lined up next for you. Garware Technical Fibres is the first management on our radar. The company posted a stable set of Q1 numbers with its profit growing 12%, but margins did see some weakness. To discuss the quarter gone by and the way forward, we are joined by Shujaul Rehman, who is the CEO at Garware Technical Fibres. Thank you so much, Mr. Rehman, for joining us. Well, first up, take us through Q1, and more importantly, you have almost a 10% exposure when it comes to the US market. So what will be the impact of tariffs? Earlier we were working with a 25% figure, but now it's 50%. So how exactly are you going to navigate that particular challenging landscape?
Thank you for having me on the show. First and foremost, on Q1, I think we had stable results, close to 13% growth in profit and 9% in top line. Some of the businesses in our company have done well. Geosynthetics, which is in the area of infrastructure in India, has done really well. Slow protection for railways and in the area of landfill mining, these segments have done well. We also done well in international fishing, which is the global fishing segment. We have done well. Also, we have done well in some segments in industrial product in India. So these segments have done well, and overall the stable results are there. Margin also we have been able to retain, I would say, at the broad line. Coming to your question, second part of the question about the tariffs. So we have about 10% exposure to US. At this stage, we are discussing with our customers and trying to find a solution. Obviously, 50% is a very steep tariff. We all know that it's not going to be easy to resolve it. But some of the customers are supporting us. In some cases, we are discussing with them. At this stage, it's early for me to say, but then we are trying to resolve the problem to the extent possible. And we are also hoping that in the next few weeks or so, there will be some resolution from between the government of India and US. That's we are hoping for. So as of now, I think still work in progress, and it's going to be at least impact to us, around 10%, which we are trying to solve.
10% of the business, which will be impacted by 50% tariffs coming in from the US on Indian exports. Mr. Rehman, you have started the year with a high single-digit growth, that's 9% on the top line. What is the demand currently? You said it was led by geographies in different segments. So which are the geographies which are growing well for you? What is the target that you have for FY26 in terms of revenue growth and margins as well, because that has fallen on a YOY basis?
So as I mentioned, we have done well in certain segments. International fishing has done well for us. Geosynthetics is this business which has been doing well for us, has obviously continued to grow well. Overall, the demand front, aquaculture, we don't see any impact on demand. There is some pressure on prices of salmon, but overall we don't expect demand to have any impact. Sports segment, which is very heavily dependent on USA, will have some impact, which I mentioned a while back. Other segments we are reasonably confident. In fact, some businesses in India, business units in India are also doing well, and we're getting some results there, especially industrial product division in India.
So what is the guidance for FY26 in that case?
At this stage, it's very difficult for me to give guidance because 10% is definitely impacted. And some of the customers used to place orders around July, August time for arrival in, let's say, Christmas time, etc. for USA. So those orders are still in limbo, so to say. So we are trying to solve. So at this stage, difficult to give guidance. Overall, you would understand the situation is not very normal for us to give guidance.
Understood that. Mr. Rehman, a two-part question. Direct 10% impact, which is part of the top line. We also understand you have some exposure as far as the salmon part of the business is concerned, where there are again tariffs to various other end markets. So would you be impacted in that case? And secondly, there were two Norway acquisitions that were announced. Q2 onwards, do we see that also coming into the numbers?
First on the tariff for the salmon. So Chile, which is a big market for us, the tariff is 10%. UK, which is Scotland, is also 10%. Canada is actually zero. One of the biggest market, Norway, has a 15% tariff. So this is the overall mix on tariff. So it's, I would say, on the lower side. As far as acquisition is concerned, we acquired a company called OTS, and the results from OTS will be a part of our results from Q2 onwards. So from July, in July, the acquisition is completed. So in Q2, we'll have results, and this will be ROC positive for us. It will also be overall, it's a good segment to be in. It's in the area of oil and gas, in the area of aquaculture. These segments we are obviously wanting to grow. The value-added rope segment, which is also focused for us, this also gives an entry into European markets in that segment. So it's an overall a good mix for us in terms of getting into segment where we're not there. And there's certain products which we can obviously import and sell in India also. It's a good synergy for us.
Right. Mr. Rehman, while 10% of the top line comes in from USA, we understand almost 60% revenues actually come in from exports. In that case, what is your current hedging policy? Do you benefit from weaker rupee?
Yeah, there's some marginal benefit if the rupee weakens. So, but there's also an import element of raw material. The raw material goes up. So, overall, I would say it's positive. At this stage, our export contribution is 55% for this quarter. It used to be normally 60-40. So, but of late, due to better business in domestic, the ratio is of 55-40.
Okay. All right. Mr. Rehman, what is the percentage revenue coming in from value-added products? If you increase it, what kind of margin expansion would you see?
At this stage, 80% of our products are value-added, operating value-added segment, and 20% is non-value-added. What we are doing is that the non-value-added segment is actually the rope segment, which we are trying to upgrade. I mentioned to you a while back, OTS is also in that direction, in the value-added rope segment. And even in global markets and in India, we're working in various segments, which are value-added rope segments. So overall, this 80-20 ratio will also change. And if it changes, then obviously there will be margin improvement. It takes some time to do it. So we are in the process of doing it.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Rehman, for joining us and fielding all of our questions. We hope to get you more often to get a sense of how exactly business is panning out and how the latest acquisition goes ahead and helps your financials going forward as well.